Is my love misplaced? When do I know when I should be dating again? Should I even be trying? I, 43 male, believe I am one of the greatest fools in the world. I'm wondering whether I'm simply a fool, or if I still have a soft spot for my soon-to-be ex-wife. The setup is as follows. My wife and I had been married for 23 years until last year, September 2020, when she looked at me days before our anniversary and informed me she wanted to divorce. We've been apart since. She has always said that she intends to file for divorce. She also said within the past month or two that because she moved out in October, and this October will mark a year, she intends to file for a no-fault divorce then. I've done everything I can think of to persuade her to alter her mind, but all she says is that she's tired of trying. I know I can't persuade her to alter her mind or compel her to do anything she doesn't want to do, so I'm quite sure this marriage is finished. My heart, however, continues to tell me that I love her and want her back. I really miss her. I know I should be able to let her go, but for some reason I can't. Which gets me to my point. She's already dated 3 men since our divorce, and she's just moved in with boyfriend number 3. I ended up assisting her in moving in with said guy just tonight/last night. All the while feeling uneasy, sad, and frustrated, although doing my best to put up a decent and kind front, that she is moving in with him despite the fact that she is still legally married to me and no divorce has been filed. Despite the fact that she cheated on me, I still adore her. This was the second time she cheated while leaving. I feel as though I shouldn't love her as much as I do, yet I do. I ended up weeping nearly half the way home. She just lived across the other side of the little town we lived in for the previous year. Her boyfriend, with whom she is moving in, lives an hour away. By the way, we do have children, but they are both adults approaching the ages of 23 and 24. One of them still lives at home with me, while the other considers my house home, but is seldom there owing to his employment. She was my first, and still is to this day, and only girlfriend in that kind of relationship, so I don't have much any experience dating other people. My first breakup is still fresh in my mind. I know we married when we were young, me at 19 and her at 18, but it's still painful. I don't want to be lonely, therefore I've been browsing on 4 different dating websites as I'm not a bar goer, and I'm not someone that gets out very much either. I haven't met anybody yet to date. I'm trying to get over my wife, and sometimes I think I can, but other times I think it's a lost cause and that I shouldn't even be dating now. I reason that it would be unjust to that other person if I tried to date. I have always been forthright with everyone I have spoken with, even though I think most were fake or scam accounts. Nobody appears to be interested in me, and I'm not sure I'll ever feel loved or love someone else again. Is it ever going to get better? I know they say time heals all wounds, but this is awful. I wish I had known what I know now years ago and could have stopped her from leaving. Any suggestions? I don't have the kind of true friends with whom I feel comfortable chatting. Despite the fact that several have offered, in terms of friends, I'm a bit of a loner. That is why I have gone to her to inquire. For some reason, it's simpler to chat to a stranger. I've read a few of the comments. And thank you to everyone who has already commented. Even though it's not what I want to hear, I believe I needed to hear some of it. However, first, as for the divorce, neither I nor she have filed yet since neither of us can or will afford it. We both have modest incomes. She recently started a new job with a much higher wage, so maybe she'll be able to buy it soon. The second reason is that I still can't bring myself to do it because of my love for her. I know I shouldn't be attempting to date only for this reason. This is something I completely understand. I simply miss having someone around all the time. We moved out of our parents' residences and into each other's after we married. So there was no time spent alone learning and living before we married. Even after a year, I still don't know how to go about it. Update. I know I shouldn't be dating right now since I still have feelings for my wife, 42F. We had been married for 23 years when we divorced. I'd been formally married for 24 years. I'm aware of my flaws and what I did wrong. I didn't communicate properly and didn't know how to work on the marriage in the manner that was required. This caused her to feel unloved and unwanted, despite the fact that I adored her and would never abandon her. She did not see things this way and wanted to leave as a result. Throughout our marriage, she told me multiple times. When she complained, I would attempt. Things would go better for a while, but then I'd get comfortable, and things would revert to their previous state with her unhappy. Another factor that contributed to our failure was that she cheated on me twice. The first time was roughly 10 years into our marriage with a woman. The second came when she was leaving and told me she needed a break. She discovered herself to be poly on the second cheat. She used to think there was something wrong with her. But now that she can identify as poly, she doesn't see anything wrong with herself. I never cheated or ever contemplated cheating. She informed me in September that she desired a divorce and moved out in October. I stayed with my mother for a month while she looked for an apartment. We've been apart since, and she said that she wants a divorce. She intends to file for a no-fault divorce in October, 1 year after she moved out. Since the split, including the infidelity, she has been with boyfriend number 3 and has just moved in with him. I've searched, but I can't seem to locate anybody, and nothing seems right about anyone else except her. She was my first, and only, girlfriend, kiss, and everything else that comes with that sort of relationship. It does not seem, at this moment, that I will or could find someone to love and be loved in return. Even after a year apart, this still hurts so much. Regardless of everything has transpired, I still love her and want her back. I know I have to let her go, but it's difficult. We married when we were 19, me, and 18, her. At the time, she was expecting our son. We moved out of our parents' home and onto our own. Our son was born 20 days later. We presently have 2 adult children, ages 24 and 22, 23 next week. Because I was married with children so early, I never went to college and always worked low-wage jobs. About 10 years into our marriage, she went to college, where she met her first cheat. However, owing to financial constraints, I was unable to complete the project. If we had the money, I believe she would have filed for divorce sooner, but none of us has or did. As a result, she is seeking for the cheapest option. I didn't want any of this, and I still don't. One of the things that perplexes me about all of this is that things seemed to be improving right before she departed. She had been telling me for years that I was trapped with her. I'd tell her I was glad to be stuck with you, thinking of the Huey Lewis song. She would say things like she didn't want to train someone else, that we were too old to start again. I felt and still feel the same way. Or that if we wanted to change from a king bed to a queen bed, it didn't matter since we liked each other so much. She may have meant all of that at the time, but it all seems like one huge lie today. I know she still cares about me. She no longer says it to me, despite the fact that I tell her I love her all the time. She has informed me that love never dies, but rather evolves through time. She also said that if someone claims to no longer love you yet did in the past, they never really loved you in the first place. Therefore, with that stated, I know she still loves me somewhere within her. But she doesn't want to work on our marriage anymore, so we're done. It's simply so difficult for me to let go of 24 years of marriage and 25 years of love. We had been married for 25 years because we had met just over a year before. I had just graduated from high school, and she was ready to begin her senior year. It's all a little strange at times. I feel like I should still be waking up with her beside me. If she could only wake up and realize how much I still love her, she may reconsider coming back home to me. I know it's just me being too optimistic, but that's how I feel. Anyway, I believe I have worn out your ears. Please accept my apologies for the lengthy tirade. Thank you for reading. If you have finished it all, I'm at a loss for words at the moment. Saying it helps a bit, but not nearly as much as I would want. I believe this healing process will take a very long period for me. This stinks.